mic's on. Hello. Okay. Yes. I'll take one. Oh, is she here? Where'd she go? Okay, so I'm going to start. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming, and we got an important topic to talk about because many of you know that I've been going through gallbladder issues, and so I said, what a perfect opportunity to share what I've learned so far. So the topic that I have for today, the title is the gallbladder important or is it an ornamental organ? Okay, so following the next one, if you notice on the right, the top right-hand corner, the liver is on the upper right-hand corner right here, and the gallbladder is directly underneath. The gallbladder is a pear-shaped organ on the right side, and it stores and concentrates bile in your gallbladder. It also releases bile when you eat foods that contain high fat or fat. So, for example, dairy products, eggs, nuts, oils, pizza, fried chicken, you get the idea. So,
if a person has their gallbladder out, does the liver put the bile directly into the system rather than going to a
that's right. Yeah, which is, yeah, that's right. That's right, Ed. Yes?
If you took
I'm not a doctor.
every day some, like a half a teaspoon of olive oil or something like that, so that it doesn't concentrate in the gallbladder, will it help it pass through so it doesn't get too bad?
I'm not sure about that because I'm not a doctor, but I know if you do take olive oil, you will be triggering a bile release, so therefore you're having a flow of bile being released constantly. So,
Yes,
so it's not concentrated.
Mrs. Russell was here. She said she went into the hospital to get it out, and someone said to her, listen, you just take a teaspoon of olive oil every morning, you're cured.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about what is bile exactly. Yeah, just here you are. Okay, so bile is a yellow-green alkaline fluid produced by the liver and stored in your gallbladder. It helps to aid digestions of fats. It's composed of bile salts, and we'll go over what bile salts are, and cholesterol, water, bilirubin, and electrolytes. So some things that the bile does in your system is to digest fats, emulsify it. So bile breaks down the fats. So if you've eaten, pizza or some nuts or whatever, that bile is going to be released, and it's going to break down the fats to a smaller size so that enzymes like lipase come in and break it down even further so you can actually absorb the nutrients that come from that. And that goes with vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and K. So vitamin A is important for vision and immune function. Vitamin D, essential for calcium absorption and bone health. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant, preventing and repairing damaged cells, so protecting cells from oxidative damage. And vitamin K is crucial for blood clotting. So I'm just going to show you an example that I hopefully don't make a mess of here. So I got some oil. Hopefully, I was thinking that's a little too much. And I got detergent. Assume detergent is bile because that's what it actually is. Okay, so if I were to pour the detergent or bile into the oil. We'll just pour it. And then we close that up. Give it a good shake. What has it done now? It has emulsified it, making it small droplets. Okay, that's what your bile does. What your bile is, your gallbladder is very important to concentrate it so that when you eat something, this is what happens. Then you got your pancreas, who helps sending enzymes like lipase. So lipase comes in and further makes those fat droplets even smaller so that your small intestine can actually digest those fat-soluble vitamins, as we talked about, A, D, and E, A, D, E, and K. Yes?
I got a question. What happens if you don't?
Well, we'll get to that. So, yeah, we'll get to that. So let me just put that away in a bag. So let's continue on. The other thing that one of the other things that bile does is neutralize, because bile is alkaline. So when you eat foods, your stomach is very acidic. So when it comes in to the small intestine, the bile comes in, acts it, neutralizes it, and actually creates a suitable environment for enzymes to actually work to digest food. Another thing is bile is used for waste removal. So think about it this way. Your liver detoxifies, right? If you have excess cholesterol, excess estrogen, excess toxins, what your liver does actually sends those things into your bile to be excreted out through fecal matter. So that's your stool, right? So it's pretty important for it to do that. Okay, next one. So the composition of bile is 95% water. So drinking water is very important so your body can function correctly, and not just the gallbladder, but all of it. And the remaining 5% is made up of bile salts. Where is it here? Bile salts, bilirubin, excess cholesterol, and mineral salts. So bile salt, what that is, it's a cholesterol, an amino acid, which is the building blocks of a protein, and it also has a mineral salt, so sodium or potassium. So that makes up a bile salt. Bile salts are important because they act as bactericides, destroying microbes that may be present in foods that you eat. So that's what that does. Bilirubin is the breakdown of red blood cells. Your liver is responsible for getting rid of old and damaged red blood cells. And that excretes it into the bile and out through your stool. So many things that the gallbladder does, hey, and the liver. Excess cholesterol, so your body actually produces, so the liver itself produces all the cholesterol that you need, so that makes up 80%. The liver is the one producing cholesterol out of the foods that you eat. 20% come from dietary sources. So cholesterol is important for building cell membranes, producing hormones, and creating vitamin D. So if your body has too much cholesterol from eating too much of high fats, then your liver is going to dump that into the bile, out through stool. And then it also has minerals, so such as sodium and potassium, and that could be it. So that's the composition of bile. So what happens if the bile ratio is not correct? I can testify to this. So let's see here, page 3. So let's look at some things here. Ooh, I can't see that. So you're going to develop some digestive issues if that bile is not correct. You are going to probably experience some fatty, greasy stool, meaning inadequate bile salts, so that what we just talked about. If you don't have enough, you're just going to ingest fats. It's going to push it through your small intestines, and it's not going to actually be used in any sort of way. So you're going to have some greasy stool. You're going to have diarrhea if you have excess bile. Unabsorbed bile acids can actually irritate the colon, irritating the lining all the way down and causing chronic watery diarrhea. Bloating and pain. This is what I've been experiencing the last 2 months. A lot of bloating, burping, indigestion, because that bile is not being released. In my case, it's because of gallstones were blocking the way out, so not enough concentrated bile that is able to digest the fats. And that stuff happens. Also, you can lose weight. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've lost some weight. And it's because you can't actually absorb, your body can't break down the fats to absorb for nutrients. So you'll have significant reduction of caloric intake. So instead of being absorbed for energy, undigested fats are excreted in the stool, leading to chronic calorie deficit muscle wasting, which I've lost a lot of muscle actually, and potentially deficiencies in fat solubles. So you'll be lacking vitamin A, D, E, and K, which are very important to our system. The next slide, you'll have physical symptoms and complications. So you can develop gallstones. If there's too much cholesterol, too little bile salts, the bile becomes super saturated, causing cholesterol to crystallize into stones. You can get skin itching, so pruritus. If the bile is not flowing due to the composition issues, then bile acid actually backs up into the gallbladder and actually probably goes into your bloodstream, causing an itch. Which I did have, and I didn't realize that at the time. Jaundice. Jaundice is a buildup of bilirubin. Bilirubin, again, is the breakdown of red blood cells that your liver gets rid of old and damaged cells. So if it doesn't get out, then it goes into your bloodstream, causing a yellowing of your eyes, the whites of your eyes, and the skin. I didn't turn yellow, so that's good. Then you get light-colored stool or clay-colored stool because there's not enough bile. So bile or bilirubin is actually the one that makes that brown color in your stool. So if you're not getting enough bile into the small intestine, then you're not going to see the brown color in your stool. Again, vitamin deficiencies. Long-term imbalance leads to a lack of fat-soluble vitamins, which cause bone issues from low vitamin D, vision problems from low vitamin A, bruising or bleeding disorders from low vitamin K. And then the long-term effects, if it does not get treated, your liver can become damaged. So liver cirrhosis, bile duct cancer or infection. A toxic environment caused by poor bile composition can lead to inflammation, increasing the risk of cancer in the bile ducts. And of course, nutritional deficiencies lead to severe malnutrition. So the question was asked, what if you've had your gallbladder taken out? Something that I looked up is, so like Ed said, the bile actually comes straight from the liver and goes straight into the small intestine, and that's a constant drip. So it never actually concentrates enough to be released when you had your gallbladder, and so that you can't break down the fats. So you'll have malabsorptions of foods and vitamins So that's the problem with that. It's a constant drip. And so if, like my mom has this because she's had her gallbladder taken out, when she eats pizza or something that requires, like cheese for example is a trigger for her, she'll have instant diarrhea. Now the body can adapt over time if you had your gallbladder, because when you first get your gallbladder taken out, your body's like, well, what happened? What is this? It doesn't make enough bile to actually break down those fats. But over time it does, but some people are left, like my mom, with actual, I guess, consequences of taking it out. So we want to keep our gallbladder as much as we can, if possible. I know there's been some emergencies where you have to, which I was there once too, but I still have mine and I'm still hoping to keep it if possible. Moving on. So I'm going to focus a little bit on the gallbladder. So most gallstones are cholesterol based. 75 to 90% of cases are actually from cholesterol. So they form, if you have too much, like you said, if you have too much cholesterol in your body or overproduction based on your circumstances, then it's going to lead to gallstones eventually, hopefully not. The second type of gallstone is bilirubin, which is the breakdown of red cells. So if you got too many red cells in your bile, that can create stones as well. And these are often linked to blood disorders, liver cirrhosis, and biliary infections. The reasons that you may develop gallstones, some of the symptoms I see up there are excessive cholesterol. So excessive cholesterol actually, cortisol reduce the amount of bile produced. It's just a mechanism that it happens on your body, too much stress. So excess estrogen, again, if your body has too much estrogen because hormonal imbalances, you will most likely develop gallstones. It's actually more common in women than in men, gallstones. Excess insulin, so if you're diabetic or have excess insulin on a regular basis, it actually lowers your bile as well. It also creates a situation where your liver is, I guess, causes an enzyme to actually overproduce cholesterol. So having high insulin levels all the time actually makes your body release an enzyme that actually promotes overproduction of cholesterol. And so what's that liver going to do? It's going to dump it into the bile, creating too much. Composition is going to be off, and there you got gallstones. It also, in high insulin levels, also impairs the gallbladder's mobility. So it doesn't actually contract effectively and less frequently actually. So that's another reason for promoting gallstones, because you have a stagnant bile. It's not moving, it's not flowing, it's not being contracted out. Okay, so low fat diets reduce the amount of bile being produced as well. Because if you're not triggering that gallbladder, then your body's going to say, I don't need that bile, right?
I don't understand that one, because as Seventh-day Adventists, we normally preach that low-fat diet is good. In this case here, he says that.
So we do promote eating nuts and things like that, and natural fats. So you actually need to eat fats in order to absorb your vitamin A's and D's and E's and K's. To trigger avocados, well, if you eat eggs, anybody eat eggs. Yeah, so it is necessary for life. You can't live without having fats because, like I said, you're going to lead to malnutrition and muscle, loss. So low-fat diet is good for Adventists because we promote that But processed fats, high fat cheeses and things like that, oils, that's probably not what we want to on an everyday consume. Your nice French fries and chicken strips or whatever you guys eat, Pizza, my husband loves pizza, and I'm like, but I'm the one with the problem and not him. Go ahead.
Mozzarella cheese is like 20%
Fat.
cheddar.
Yeah.
Is almost 40.
Yeah.
And on pizza, you get mozzarella cheese. Like
Yeah.
that.
A nice thick layer of it too. Yeah.
Take the chance.
Yeah, I'm aware. Constipation, the reason why constipation is up there is actually, if you're constipated, it actually backflows that bile. Instead of being released into your small intestine, it actually is coming up. It's, and so therefore you're having a stagnant amount of bile. That bile, is going to concentrate, create infection, can create inflammation. So that's why constipation's up there. Also constipation, if you've had gallbladder issues, you'll experience it because if there's not enough bile being released, then you will be constipated because bile is actually a lubricant for your intestines. So you want to make sure that is working as well. So now let's focus on foods that help with bile production. I mostly focused on plant-based because we promote as healthy as possible. So the highest being seaweed, red and green algae. We got seeds like pumpkin seeds, pepitas in particular, chia, sunflower, sesame seeds, legumes, chickpeas, lentils, black beans, soybeans, kidney beans, peanuts, and the list goes on, right? So those are some good sources. If you have a handout, it's on there as well. So that's bile production. So foods to stimulate bile flow are your bitter greens. So I've been consuming a lot of bitter greens lately, as much as possible, even in smoothies, just trying to get it in there. So you got your dandelion, your arugula, radicchio. I've never had it, so I know what it looks like. Yeah, I know what it looks like. I just so your mustard greens, collard greens, watercress, and the reason why it triggers a release of bile is because it actually on your tongue there's a bitter receptor or receptors, and in your intestines. And there's a hormone that's actually released in your small intestines, and so it's called cholecytokinin, CCK for short. So when that happens, that bitter taste you put into your mouth, it actually releases digestive enzymes, and those digestive enzymes are your stomach acids and bile for gallbladder. So bitter greens are good for that, for triggering that release of bile. Okay, so, and I put your Swedish bitter, yeah, I put that up there because I did see it on there too, so I added it. So clearly I'm going to be eating healthy for the next year. Oh, I love it. It's just I need to eat more of it, So you can't see the screen very well, but in the end, I don't have it on your slide, on your handout, I don't think. But of course, is eating a healthy diet, exercise, drinking water, sunshine. So the New Start, if you guys know New Start, this is exactly what it is. Clearly, some of these things I'm very good at. Some things like trusting in God, we're working on, probably why I have some issues. Not that I don't trust in God, but like we talked about if you guys were here for Thursday or saw it online, the mind is very important in how it relates to your body. if you're fighting the demons within you and you haven't conquered them, then you will the body will display it in some shape or form, whether it's cancers, whether it's gallbladder issues, heart issues, you name it, the list goes on. So that's something I'm working on. The next one down the list it says liver cleanses, so something I've been doing to combat these gallstones, because I have gallbladder issues, is to do liver flushes. So my first one was 6 years ago, my gallbladder attack. I found online a blog that was talking about liver flushes in a book, and I was just like, well, I guess I'll give it a go, you know, and see what happens. At that time, I was pretty, it was an emergency. I was going to develop sepsis, like the infection was already happening. And so I decided to say to the doctor, I think I want to try something first before you prep me for surgery. And he's like, I didn't feel comfortable leaving. He didn't want me to leave at all from the hospital. And he's like, this is a very serious situation. You have infection happening. And I was just like, you know what? I really need to really do this. So I was trusting in God that he would make me through, get me through, and he did come through. And that's a story for another time. But so these liver flushes have actually helped me flush out the gallstones. Now, I don't know if I would recommend this for everyone, because some people are on medications, blood pressure issues, all sorts of things. So I take the risk for myself. But if you do want the liver cleanse, I do have a copy with me here. I can photocopy it if you're interested, and you can look at that for yourself. And then the last thing I've incorporated is chanca piedra, which means stone breaker or stone crusher. It's another bitter herb that stimulates bile flow and production. It's actually mostly commonly used for kidney stones, but with the kidney stones, they want to say there's no evidence to back it up for gallbladder issues, but when you actually look at it, it does help support the gallbladder with stimulation of bile. So yeah, and that's the end of my presentation. So, yeah.
Francis,
Yeah.
for the benefit of those who are online, unless we shut it off already, can you just give us quickly the ingredients of your liver cleanse?
So the liver cleanse is essentially Epsom salt, so food grade Epsom salt. So you get that, and you get grapefruit juice, whether natural or bottled, it works all the same, and olive oil is what it is. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick a day, and hopefully you're feeling good, because it will take a little bit out of you. You're going to have your breakfast. You're going to not consume any proteins or fat for breakfast. You're going to have just steamed vegetables, fruit, whatever salad, without salad dressings, nothing like that. And then you'll do the same for lunch. No proteins or fat, because remember, proteins and fats trigger the gallbladder to release bile. And then about 6 o'clock, you're going to have your first dose of Epsom salt. It's the most disgustingest thing. It's bitter, but I think it's 4 tablespoons and 3 cups of water or something like that. And you take 3/4 of a cup is your first dose. That's a 6. 2 hours later, you take your second dose, and by the second dose, you should have a bowel movement. So what Epsom salt does, it helps dilate your blood vessels and your pipes and everything. It also acts as an anti-inflammatory, that's why you soak in Epsom salt, right? And yeah, it's pretty bitter. So and it's a laxative, so you will be having diarrhea. The point is to clear you out and pass gallstones. Then at 2 hours later, so 10 o'clock, you'll have I think it's a cup of grapefruit juice with half a cup of olive oil. Now, I've never done half a cup. That's a lot of olive oil. 4 tablespoons to 5 tablespoons of olive oil usually work for me. So I kind of modified the recipe. And then you're supposed to lay down immediately and go to sleep. so that you're not in the bathroom, you know. So anyways, you let the gallbladder do its thing. And this time around, I actually felt sharp pains, which I didn't before. So I knew some stones were pretty big. So I was like, we'll see what happens the next morning, right? So the next morning, you continue with your third dose of Epsom salt. So you're tired of this bitter taste in your mouth. And then you're really going to the bathroom, and then you'll start seeing the stones come out, and they're neon green. They look like what do you call it? A pea, like a sweet pea. About that size, some bigger. Like this time I had the size of my thumb come out, the thumbnail, and some just slightly bigger than my thumbnail. So pretty big ones came out this time. A lot of sediment came up, and you can see all these little pieces of stone. And so yeah, it's I had a lot come out. And then you have your fourth dose 2 hours later. I usually don't make it to the fourth dose because I kind of just want to eat. And usually you have to wait 2 hours after your last dose to eat breakfast. And you don't want to have pizza right after, or you know, ease into it. So that's what consists of the gallbladder gallstone flush. And if you're interested, I do have, like I said, a printout, and I could photocopy if anyone was interested in it. So yeah, that ends my presentation. Is there any comments or questions? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There are certain medications that you cannot touch drink food.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's why you got to consult with your doctor, definitely. That's why I'm not on medication or anything like that, so I take the risk upon myself. But for people who are on medications or have actual other ailments, yeah, best advised to make sure that it doesn't affect you. So if you don't have your gallbladder, what I've read is that some people take bile salt supplements, and usually it comes from ox, so an animal source. That's the only thing I've really found. If you really wanted to look into it, I don't know more than that. I do have that supplement as well. I haven't really started taking it, but that's what I found, because bile salts will naturally dissolve the cholesterol stones. Yeah. So that's what I found out. So. Okay. Any other? Yes, I'm doing better, but I did get the results from the doctor that saw me in Tatamagouche, and he said that I still have gallstones, and I have a gallstone that is 1 inch big. So that's the one that we saw at the beginning of February that I was like, I don't even want to look because that's huge. So I got one that's about 1 inch thick. He didn't say how big or round or whatever, but so that's what I'm still working on. I can still do liver flushes to get the little ones out. He's not concerned about the big ones because they don't get stuck anywhere. They stay in the gallbladder, but the little ones are the ones that get stuck in the bile ducts. And so that's what I'm going to continue.
Any recommendations of how often somebody can do a liver flash?
Yeah, so the printout actually has all that information. I just found the blog about 6 years ago. I pretty much just copied and pasted. I couldn't find it actually, 6 years now past, so I couldn't find that blog again to see if I could, find it. But I do have it, and it's pretty much a person who's done it. Explained that it's the book is called The Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush, and she just reviews that book based on her own experience of what she's gone through with the gallbladder flushes and stones coming out and whatnot. So she's got her full blog here of her experience, and so I printed it off so that you guys could, if you were interested in reading how often she says how to do it, her experience, and yeah, so that information's on here if you would like. I could pass that on. So, all right, any other comments or questions?
I think I also have a liver flush at home that uses, it might be the Celtic or the sea salt instead of the Epsom salt. So I suppose there's some people that may do better on that than the other one.
Yeah.
I can make it available to you. If
Yeah,
find
I
it.
haven't tried that one, so.
Yeah.
Because the Epsom salt, oh,
And Charlene, you have a liver cleanse.
You know, I know I do. I have no idea where it is, Lane.
And
I
you found that
did have
pretty
it
nasty.
years
mm.
You
And I
found
used
that
to
pretty
find it.
nasty, right?
Is it the was it through Epsom salts?
No.
No,
No.
some other way?
So, but I can't really remember.
Yeah.
I would
It was
say
actually
no,
a
because I
purchase
saw
liver
it.
flush. Something that you
Yes,
purchase.
that's right.
Yeah.
Now that you
A
say that.
bottle of, yeah,
Yes.
for liver flush.
Yes, got it at a health food.
Oh, really?
But I do remember you saying it was pretty awful.
It was
It's
awful.
well, if it has Epsom salt, you'll know right away because it's super bitter. You know what it tastes like? It's been a while since I've had Tylenol, but if you crush or chew on a Tylenol or something, it's like that bitter, gross. That's what Epsom salt tastes like, and you got to drink that. So, yeah. So that's what
Straw, put it right in the back of your throat and hold it almost.
I tried that, it doesn't work because the taste is left in your mouth. Actually, Fred drank it because he had to do a procedure for x-ray to clear his his intestines. And he said it tasted like vodka. And I was just like, well, I wouldn't know anything about that. But he was like, yeah, tastes like if you drank straight vodka. And I was like, why would you ever drink vodka straight? Now, some people do, but usually you're supposed to mix it, but I don't know. So, yeah.
I think vodka is made out of potatoes.
It's made out of potatoes?
Yeah, that's their,
On the road to PEI,
Yeah.
before you get to the bridge, there's a big distillery there that uses potatoes to make vodka.
Yeah. Oh, it's disgusting.
There is a liver cleanse that's just based on beet juice.
Oh, beet juice. Well, yeah, beet juice does detoxify the liver. One of them up there, the beet tops, was to stimulate bile flow. Yeah.
yes, I was doing the juice stuff. And Norman Walker's the head guy for that. And the instructions were, when you make beet juice, don't drink more than a quarter of a glass.
Oh, wow.
Which didn't mean much to me, but it was delicious tasting. So I overdrank it. I got very dizzy. And
Oh, my.
It only took like a couple, it was in my mouth, but all of a sudden,
You were spinning.
the beet juice is very strong.
I remember when we were drinking beet juice, I remember you telling me, do not drink more than a quarter cup at a time.
Yeah.
Quarter cup. And we listened to you, so we never got the dizzy. And you're
That's
right, it's
interesting.
delicious.
I used to drink beet juice because I juiced it myself. I always drank a nice glass and never felt anything. So everyone is different in how they respond. Clearly, I needed it. So
Just be honest.
yes, yeah. So, well, thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
You don't do your gallbladder, and you're not being able to do your bile salts like.
No, so what it is your gallbladder actually concentrates the bile. So what happens is if you lose that gallbladder, the liver can no longer put it in the gallbladder to concentrate it. So when you have a pizza or high fat content, you can't actually break it down well enough. So there's a fat malabsorption. So that's what happens. So it's not effective as having a gallbladder. Yeah, so.
So then all your vitamins and minerals that are fat soluble are not absorbed as well by the body, so you can have deficiencies.
Yeah, so you'll have muscle loss, which I've lost some muscle, which is sad. So you're gonna have deficiency in calories pretty much, because fats give you the calories, a lot of calories actually, and if you can't do that, then you're not gonna put on weight. Yeah.
If you take a 10-pound barbell,
Yeah.
go like this 6 times,
Mm-hmm.
keep doing it, it's amazing. Those muscles just love it.
Yeah, they
And
do.
it's so much fun looking at it grow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And
Yeah.
here, like, it's all of a sudden you see the muscles growing. It's just fun.
All right, thank you everyone for coming and listening. Hopefully I wasn't too boring. All right.